Does have feedback.
Good morning. Dean Randolph. Hey. Wow, this is cool.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Good. I am good. I have an audience. At least one.
Every other four.
Couple.
Yeah.
So did you?
Just like being in my house, I'm always at home. And not home.
So yeah, just make sure that you're. Oh, it's over there? Yeah. That's just Tony. Tony's on the wrong side of the room.
I didn't, so his eyes won't move, I didn't sit up there. Yeah, because if not, you're gonna look at me and then you're gonna look weird.
Yeah.
So,
That would be good.
right here.
So do I need to be up here first, Alan, or are you gonna do your
Just so
part?
you know, we're already online, so we've got.
They can see you now.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they see though, we're behind you.
So we're
Ah, okay.
online. So we'll start in a minute and a half here.
Okay.
I'll introduce you and then we'll let you talk. And then we'll jump out.
That's all.
Ten-year treasury. Yeah, right, that's a trick to connect, isn't it?
I expected the stock market to improve this morning.
I'm scared.
Yeah. I'm more scared. I mean, really, how much more scared can you get?
I'm with you. I'm with you. So, I'm choosing not to let this affect my environment.
Yeah.
We have to make considerations. All right. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us at our sales meeting. I know this is kind of a different kind of sales meeting. This is one that we're starting our whole online series of sales meetings. So we do have a few folks that are going to be with us today, and we're going to be talking to, they're going to be speaking to you as well. With everything going on with the whole coronavirus thing, we wanted to take everything online, but we still want to make sure we still had the information that they needed in the whole 9 yards. So we have a couple folks going to start off speaking, and then we're going to jump into it. So the first one up, Mr. Dean Bendall. So come on up, Dean. So Now, Dean has a very interesting proposal for our agents, Cafe. And so Dean is with Homevestors, and he is an investor. And so Dean, I'm going to let you pitch your presentation to them.
Very good. I guess before we get started, let's see. Better safe than sorry, right? So I'm Dean Bendall. I'm a Homevestors franchisee. I own a company called Bendall Properties that is the actual franchisee. So for those of you not familiar with Homevestors, that's the We Buy Ugly Houses people. I buy homes, rehab them, and sell them. Now, the reason I'm here today is I need houses to buy. So if you ever go look at homes, sure enough, we buy ugly homes. If you ever go look at homes that hoarder houses, smell like, cat pee, dog pee, that kind of stuff, or for that matter, somebody that just needs to sell a home in a hurry, we pay cash, we close fast, and we pay all the closing costs of the seller. So what's in it for you? Number one, you're going to sell me a home, so you'll make the commission at that point. But then when I rehab it, now I got to be 100% honest, I may not rehab it. I may just flip it off to a wholesaler, or I may send it to somebody else. But either way, if I fix it up and rehab it and resell it, I will list it with you. So I can give you the opportunity to go from selling 0 homes to selling 2 homes in one transaction. So I hope that's of some benefit to you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we like that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of investors that are not honorable, I guess would be the right word. But we've known Dean, and a lot of you probably already know Dean from the lending days, and so we trust Dean, and that's one of the few reasons, or not one of the few, but that's one of the reasons why Dean is here, because we believe in Dean and we can trust Dean. So
let me pitch for just a minute. I've got 3 homes currently that I own. One's in Hapeville, 3 bedroom, 1 bath that we're in the middle of doing some. I'm trying to sell it as it sits. We've gutted it, but we're probably going to end up doing a rehab on that one. I've got a 3-2 in Stockbridge, and I've got a 3 1.5 in Griffin. So those 3, we're probably going to be doing a rehab, and of course turning around and listing them back with the agent who sold them to us. So live action in process right now.
All right. Well,
Thank you
thanks,
very
Dean.
much.
I appreciate it.
thank you, Dean.
Thanks. If y'all have any questions, we will put Dean Bendall's information online for you after the meeting, okay?
All right, next up is going to be Wendell, Charles. Wendell, he's going to talk
Went down the man.
Yeah, man. So, but he's going to be talking to us about, the whole, what's going on right now in the lending world, because things in the lending world are definitely a little topsy-turvy, just like everything is. So he's going to speak to us for a few minutes. He's also going to be sharing with us, and we'll be including a link to the lender apps, because I think it's one of those things that we need to be utilizing right now is the lender apps. So I'm going to jump out and let you take it here.
All right. Good morning, guys. I'm not used to not having an audience. I kind of like an audience, so I have a virtual audience. Well, I have 2, but I'm used to having a package. I got a virtual audience, so I would thank you for that. Well, the good thing is we're all still here. The bad thing is it's a crazy market. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time for everything. Kids are out of school. People aren't working. Like, everybody's panicking. Everybody has a buttload of toilet paper, right? Like, I hope you're buying some food, but you're out of toilet paper, right? The shelves are empty. Everybody's changing hours. With all this chaos going on, you can't forget that people are still interested in buying homes. People still want to buy a home. It's the perfect time for you to get out the information, right? You can become the expert at this point in time. Instead of trying to take somebody out in the car to show them a house, become the expert and the person that they go to when they're ready to buy. And what I mean by that is the perfect time right now to talk about interest rates. What is the difference between the Fed cut interest rates and mortgage rates? Because there's a there's 2 completely different things. When you hear the Fed's cut rates, guys, yesterday I got 6 calls from customers, 6 text messages or emails telling me they want to lock in Monday, rates are lower, and I got to send them an article going, guys, it has nothing to do with the mortgage rate. When the Fed cut interest rate, they cut what's called the Fed fund rate, the rate that banks borrow money from the federal government at. So now the banks are allowing the federal government to borrow money from them at 0%, right? So that's the Fed fund rate. And the actual federal government can go at a negative fund rate. So they can decide tomorrow that I want to go a negative quarter. So I'm going to give the bank money to lend money to spark the economy. So the federal government has the right to do that. The way it affects mortgages is completely different. We typically have a 30-day lag time on something like that, or a 2-week lag time when we start to see rates get affected. Because what tends to happen is when the feds cut rates, people start to go out and buy. The banks start to lend money to people. They start to go out and buy. What happens is that the economy gets stronger at that point. People then, when the economy is stronger, the stock market is strong. So what do people do when the stock market is bad? They pull their money out of the stock market and they go to someplace safe, which is the bond market, which affects interest rates. So the bond market affects your rates. Your 10-year treasury, it affects interest rates. So what happens is right now everybody's scared. They're losing all their money in the stock market. They're saying, I got to move my money. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it in the bond market, which is safe. Doesn't move, not as volatile. So what happens when they put all their money in the bond market? Rates shot up 3 times last week.
Yeah.
So what the federal government did this weekend was on Friday, I have a friend that's high up in the federal government. I'm lucky to have somebody that I know with a little power. He called me at 9 that morning and told me that the president was going to give an announcement. They were going to try to shut trading down, and that they were going to call it national state emergency, whatever. And he gave me all the feedback. I was a guy I was a cop with. And he's now high up in the federal government in the Attorney General's office. But he gave me a heads up on what was happening. And so I knew about 9 that morning that the president was going to make an announcement and he was going to stop trading. Well, guess what? He made the announcement, and this morning he stopped trading, right? And so that information is so good to know ahead of time because you can actually prepare. So what you're going to see now is what the Fed did is they cut rates. The market didn't respond good at all this morning. So since the market didn't respond good, the president shut the stock market down. Stop it. Stop the bleeding right now. Because the more fear people have, the more panic it goes into. That's why our government has to show solidarity, and they have to show they have to make it seem like everything is okay, right? Because the confidence level goes down. If everybody's panicking, all we're doing right now is hurting each other.
Right.
This is a virus that is serious, and all they're saying is take precautions, wash your hands, keep things sanitized, keep things clean. If we do the normal things that our parents taught us from a child, we wouldn't be having this panic of toilet paper, right? So it'd be completely. So what I suggest that agents do right now in this market is, one, I start educating buyers on what's happening in the market. What is going on? What does it look like? Try to show some sense of calmness and not panic. Because if you panic, your client panic, and what's happening right now is your client's going, I'm not buying that. I'm going to wait until to see what's going to happen, right? Well, it is still the time to buy, because guess what? Somebody that's selling may think, I need to hurry up and sell if I can, or take what I can get for it, because I don't know what I'm going to get if it's going to drop even more. So that may be an advantage to you. So while you see lemons, make some lemonade, right? Start passing out the mobile application. If people want to do an application online, you can do a mobile application. Movement have a mobile application. Alan's going to pass those out a little later. The other thing is you can do your buyer consults through Skype, through Facebook, through an app. We can always go to Zoom and do a meeting request to do a buyer consult. So you don't have to not work. You can just do it online or meet one-on-one with people. So those type of things are what we need to be doing in the market right now. I'm at work today because I want my clients to know that I'm working. I don't want them to think that I'm sitting at home in the bed. I want them to know that I'm working so I can get calls. And while I was in my office, Alan came in, I was on a call with a client. I got 2 more clients that called me. So we have to let them know that we're working. I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. If I get sick, I'm going to be fine right after that, right? So any questions for me so far? Well, I don't want you guys to panic. I think we just got to show confidence in the marketplace, and we got to understand what rates are doing. The best weapon you have right now is information. Give the information to your clients. Become the expert in this market.
Thank you, Lindell.
Thank you.
Okay.
I read an article in the weekend from Realtor.com, and it said that all of this money now is coming out of the stock market, going into the bond market. And what that is going to do is drive down interest rates.
No.
And you said,
That's, no,
you
it's
said
the opposite
Opposite
effect.
effect.
It's
Opposite effect.
actually the opposite effect.
So what Charles asked is he saw an article on Realtor.com that said that that people were going to start putting money in the bond market and rates were going to drop. That is actually the opposite effect. So it actually has the opposite effect. The bond market is tied to mortgages. It's the safe bet. It's safe, it's steady, it's long term, right? So the stock market is I'm in today, I'm out tomorrow. I made a hit, I'm pulling out, so on and so forth. But when the stock market crashes, people, they have to put their money somewhere. They can't take it out because your 401ks and things like that are tied. You know, teachers' retirements are tied to the stock market. They shift those funds over to bonds to play it safe. And when that happened, we saw 3 spikes in the interest rate last week. Now, guys, I will tell you that we're probably going to see one more decline. And when it declines, your clients better lock. Because it's gonna go right back up. So, and we get those alerts to let us know that. So it's the opposite effect. The bond market affects rates.
Thank you
Thank you
very
Not
very much.
necessarily when the Fed dropped the interest rate.
Not necessarily when the Fed drop the interest rate.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, it's a little dark in here, so
Yeah,
it's
I know.
okay. Y'all know what I look like. So we're good,
You're
right?
good, you're good.
Okay, really quick, try to make your transaction a little easier. So if you have a closing and you don't want to drive to the office, wire instruction to the closing attorney is available. As far as wiring is an option for you. For those of you who have earnest money in our firm, wire is an option for you if you don't want to drive to the office, which I get. Okay, and also but you need to upload those sales 72 hours just so I have enough time to get everybody wire set up. Okay, and if you want, you don't have to come back to the office. What you can do is request the closing attorney to wire the company portion of it directly to us. Now, the wiring costs us $15, y'all. So if you want that option, not driving, have minimal contact, and which is fine, I want to make that available to you, just to protect you and the community and the public general. It is $15 that will come out of your account. Al and I are going to go ahead and cancel the CE classes for maybe 2 weeks. Okay, well, he'll discuss that, so I won't be talking about it. Other than that, anything you can think of that could help you speed up your process. And I also made a comment in Facebook, in our workplace this past week about, what to do and what have you. And Alan's going to go in depth in that arena, so without further ado.
Okay, sounds good. All right, thank you very much. So I just want to start off by talking about the fact that we know that, this is a serious issue, but the world is not at an end. God is still in control. Everything is still okay. Right now, it shows that, unfortunately, it has about a 3% fatality rate, which is terrible. That also means it has 97% success rate, or 97% of the people who come down with it are going to be just fine. So, while on one hand, I think we have to be conscious of that. The other thing is that we can't just run around like chickens with our heads cut off. And so, we all still, I have a business, you guys have businesses. We have to be conscious about what's going on. And then, for a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, whatever, things are going to be weird. I don't know how many of y'all went to online church yesterday. I know we did. For us, that was kind of a weird kind of experience kind of thing, because I don't sing good. Normally, I have the choir to sing, and I just think that I'm singing good. But when I have to sing by myself, it ain't nearly I don't do nearly as well. So things are different, but that's not always bad. So we just have to be looking at our business a little bit differently too. So I want to start off by looking at what are some of our real numbers and how are some of these things looking right now. So first thing is NAR came out and did some tests or did some surveys. They did a spot survey talking about coronavirus specifically and said, have you seen any of the following changes in home seller behavior? And nearly 77% of all of our members said no real change from the sellers kind of thing. we have had about, and overall, California and Washington were the ones with the highest percentage of changes. But as far as nationwide, about 7% of our agents are saying that their clients want them to stop open houses. About 6% say on their listings they want hand sanitizer and masks to be used, kind of thing. About 4% or 2% want to see buyers wearing shoes, or shoes with booties. I can't imagine who's showing a house barefoot anyway, kind of thing. And some will want to restrict listing presentations, but that's really, really minor kind of thing. So we are seeing that, the other thing is how is it affecting the home buyer market? Pretty much the same thing. 78% say it's not doing anything. We actually have about 6% of agents say it increased or slightly increased our business overall, and about 13% is decreased, and about 3% says is significantly decreased their business. So all in all, you see this is well over 80-something%. It still is not, and so it has not changed the world. The way that folks are still looking at houses. No matter what's going on with this, we still have way more buyers than we have sellers right now. And that's not going to change, especially during this time, kind of thing. Some other things, 37% said the lower mortgage rates excites homeowners way more than the stock market correction. So that's much more important to them. 9 out of 10 members say coronavirus has not affected the number of homes on the market. So these are important issues, kind of thing. And so I think one thing that definitely came out of this is if you're for your showings, for your listings, I think that it's really worthwhile for us to go talk to the Smiths and say, oh, let's have some sanitizing wipes, let's have some face masks, let's put something really nice up on, when the buyers come in, maybe in our special comments, we're so pleased that you chose our home to view. We hope you love it as much as we do. With all the unknowns in the world, right now we're asking for you to use one of the complimentary face masks. Please wipe your hands prior to viewing our home. We know your family is as precious to you as ours is to us, and we hope this minor inconvenience is only viewed as a measure to keep both of our families safe. I think that's a very classy way to be. I also think it's being proactive. It's helping to protect you, the seller, the whole 9 yards, as well as the buyers in the whole 9 yards. So we are also seeing settlement services have the potential to be disrupted right now, and so we got to be smart. Several of our multiple area metro area courthouses are closed or partially closed, kind of thing. Some are closing completely. Now, where that comes into concern for us is when it comes to title and being able to validate title and perform title examinations for the title insurance. This is still really fluid right now. We're not aware of any kind of delays or closing. That being said, let's be smart. And so if you have a property that has hair on it, it has multiple people on the title, if it has, if the house has been sold for 20+ years, things like that, let's make sure we get those files over to the closing attorneys well in advance. We can't be just shooting stuff over to them in a week. They're going to need extra time. Do your best to schedule your closings well ahead of time. At least send the information over so that our settlement, so our attorneys have the time that they need to prepare our files to close. So just don't be waiting. And all the attorneys I've spoken to, that's really the big deal, is just don't wait right now. So everyone knows it might be a bit of a hassle to get through it. The attorneys are prepared for that, but don't expect that the rush is not going to cause some time for them. So don't rush them is all I'm really trying to say there. With our lenders, we need to be sharing our lender apps. Lender apps is one of those great things that we have access to, but a lot of us don't utilize it to a great deal. And we have the ability to share these apps out to our clients to help prepare them for being able to see how much home they can buy, that kind of stuff, without actually having to get out and about kind of stuff. Also, there's a lot of video conferencing, and you'll see several lenders are starting to reach out way more on Facebook, and as well as Zoom and those kind of things. We are postponing all of our CE classes for the next 2 weeks. We're going to evaluate it at that point, kind of thing. There are several places you can go to Georgia MLS, FMLS, where you can attend CE classes online. They are for credit, kind of thing. You can also, if you're just looking for information, please utilize the classes that are on Workplace. And we're actually working on the logistics to be able to offer some sort of online distance learning We're trying to make sure that that can be approved through BREC kind of thing. We think that we can try and get that done through Workplace because you have to log into Workplace, and that's basically like you're there virtually kind of thing. And so we're working on seeing if we can't do online virtual CE classes as well. We don't know right now, but understand that that's one thing that we're trying to be very proactive about. Now, Wendell talked about this earlier. Fed lowers interest rate to near zero. It's 0.25 kind of thing. But if you look at our interest rates are tied to the 10-year Treasury. It's always been tied to the 10-year Treasury, and you can track it this is since 2000. You can see how the interest rates track with the 10-year Treasury. You can even see times when the Fed fund rate dropped, but interest rates rose. And so that's the whole thing that we're talking about, is that we see that time and time again. Now, what does that really mean for us, though? Because our clients don't understand that. So on one hand, we saw that the 30-year fixed rate last week went up. This is as of last week. The 50 and the 5-year went down, but the 30-year went up last week. What's really happened is this has just had a huge surge in mortgage applications. And so while a lot of our clients don't understand, what we are seeing is they're very interested. They love the news. That's a very appealing. And so we should be reaching out to be that educator, to also let them know they need to be getting pre-approved so that they can lock in when the rates do drop, but they're probably not going to drop right now. We might see a drop in 2 weeks, maybe a month kind of thing as the whole bond market levels out. But right now, we're probably going to be seeing interest rates actually jump up. Is going to be my prediction over the next few weeks kind of thing, especially with everything's going on in the marketplace. So that being said, when they see this low mortgage, the federal fund rate low, we need to be jumping on that, because it's a great opportunity for us to identify who really is interested in buying a home and getting them pre-approved. So bottom line is, this is not the time to roll over. This is not the time to let your business die, okay? There's a lot of positive things going on out there. And the whole thing is that we have to increase our engagement now, not just lay down. This is not winter break. This is not spring break. This is not the time to just quit. If anything, we really need to ramp our stuff up. So don't roll over. We can't do that, okay? The first thing is we need to go out and we need to make sure that we are updating our databases. Our databases are crucial. This is our business kind of thing. And so first thing we got to do is make sure that our databases are set up. If you don't have a database, get one. There's several free ones out there. And if you need it, I'll put some links on here to that, as well as I'm going to put this entire presentation is going to be included as a link on Workplace. So you'll be able to download this entire presentation, because in a minute we're going to be giving you some even more information that might be able to help you in sharing things like that. But so I'll add some links to different CRMs. Several of us have Chime. If you have your phone, that is a version of the CRM, okay? Maybe not the greatest version out there, but it's at least something that gets you started. We have to be utilizing our databases. And if you ever said, I just don't have time to build my CRM, well, guess what you got right now? You got time. And so there's no excuse for us not to say, right now, we can sit around, eat bonbons and wipe our tails with toilet paper, but that's not doing us any good for our business. You obviously have the time right now. Now is the time that we need to be investing in our business and what we're really doing. And if you look at across the board, what is the one thing that all top producers have? A CRM. Hands down, it's the most important thing that all top producers have. So I'm not saying if you have a CRM, you are a top producer. I'm saying that all top producers have one. And so that needs to be a definite step in working on your business kind of thing. So then once you have a CRM, then you have to reach out. Touch is just any time that you reach out into your database. 3 most common ways that we reach out to our database. First one's what's called 8x8, 8 touches over 8 weeks. 1 touch a week for 8 weeks. That's when you first introduce somebody in your database. A 12 touch is 12 touches over 12 months. It's basically used for past clients and referral partners, things like that, just so you reach out that you want to be top of mind. 33 touches, that's the one, if you read the Millionaire Real Estate book, which is from Gary Keller, it talks about 33 touch, and we've actually run the numbers and found out, that's a really legitimate number, because if you reach out more than 33, 35 times a year, you annoy them. They don't want to hear from you anymore. If you do it less than 33 times, you're not being as effective as you could be. And so that could be 3 or 4 phone calls a year. You can send out newsletters, quarterly neighborhood stats, postcards. You can send quick email messages, holiday cards, event marketing. I'm not sure I can do lunch, coffee, and drinks for a couple of weeks. That probably is not going to be a great thing right now. Handwritten letters, on the other hand, handwritten notes go a long, long way. Text messaging, we'll talk a little bit more about text messaging, video, email, and then definitely social media. We're going to talk about all those a little bit more here in just a second. So, you know, how we set up our database, how we reach out, now's the time. You have the time to do it. It's time to invest in your business. It's not time to roll over. So first thing I'm going to challenge you all to do is to call your entire database. And the first question I want you to ask them is, are you living in your dream home? It's my favorite question in the entire world. This is where I know the answer. Nobody's, I mean, well, I take that back. Very few of us are living in our dream home. And so this is one of those where we know what the answer is already. And it starts a question, I mean, it starts a conversation. Are you living in your dream home right now? The majority of folks are going to be like, no. Well, tell me about it. Tell me about your situation. Tell me what's going on. It starts a conversation. How about, with everything happening in the market, you still have any thoughts about selling? And I want you to think about how this is really important about what's going on right now. People are fearful. People don't know what's going on. The news is not going to be good for anything. It's not going to be good for real estate. It's not going to be good for any kind of stuff going on. And having a trusted advisor that talks to you rationally, soundly, tells you what's really going on in the market, and kind of helps you, you know, has their head on straight, that's a trusted advisor that you can count on. I mean, there's a whole lot of people that are fair weather friends. But when you call people when times are tough, that's when you really build some solid relationships, kind of thing. And so if anything, we need to be reaching out even more so and saying, hey, do you have any concerns or any fears with what's going on with the coronavirus? I know a lot of people do. But I want you to know this is what we're seeing in housing. In housing, our inventory is still really, really tight. We're still sitting at about 3.5 months of standing inventory right now. We need 6 months of standing inventory just to be a flat market. We're nowhere near that. So we still have huge demand issues with not enough supply. So if you're interested in selling, we still have a lot of buyers in the market. And we're really seeing that to be even more true right now, because with the news of the Fed dropping the interest rates, the number of people who are reaching out to try and lock in rates is really high right now. So if anything, we're seeing even more buyers move into the market right now. So reaching out to our database is so important for us to do right now. Okay, now's the time to do it. Now's not the time to wait. Okay, now's the time to be that trusted advisor, that friend, that guide, that mentor that helps people through really difficult times. So now's the time to really engage in that. So the other thing we need to do is we need to send property information. Because while I think a CRM is really important and really, really good, at the end of the day, there's only so much of, hey, I'm wonderful, you should use me, that people want to hear about you, okay? At the end of the day, they really want to know property information. It's what our clients really want. It's very easy for us to use that. Our clients want to see this information. And the other thing I want you to think about is, well, what's going on with our clients right now? Where are most of our clients at the moment? At home. What are they doing? They on the computer, they on their phone kind of thing. So the reason that we got to look at property updates is one of those things that enables us to be able to find out who's truly interested in buying and selling real estate. So if I have my database and I send all 200 people in my database are getting property updates, and these 25 people are opening the property updates and looking at properties, who are the 25 people I should call? Those. It's not that difficult kind of thing. So we need to be doubling our engagement with property updates. And so here's the general rule I'd like for you to try and follow. This is what we've been doing with very good success. Send 2 updates a week. Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, doesn't matter. But 2 updates a week. And you want to, first of all, try and reach out to everyone in your database, but take all those people and send them property updates a couple times a week. If you do it more than a couple times a week, you're going to annoy the daylights out of them. The only time when I do it more than that is when someone is looking for value property, you know, look for a house under $125,000, that kind of thing, you know that house is going to be gone fast. You got to do those every day. The other one is when you have those buyers that are ready to move right now. And sometimes, if anything, you might want to slow that down to where because you're just trying to find out who's really interested. And right now, a lot of folks are gonna have plenty of time to be able to go on online and looking at properties. And so sending this out is so crucial for our business right now. Everyone needs to go make sure that every single person in their database is getting property updates. If not, you're missing out on just a fun, fantastic opportunity to be able to engage with your databases. I mean, this is one of those few times when we know over the next couple of weeks, people are going to have loads of time to be able to hang out online. So let's make sure that we are offering content for them that they can go look at, kind of thing.
So, Alan,
Yeah.
With sending out those property updates,
Mm-hmm.
if you got a bunch of people in your database, I would think that those alerts would have to go out without your prior approval. You know what I'm saying?
I do, but you
You can spend all day looking at properties, deciding on which ones to send out.
right, but you can go into Georgia MLS, you can go to in the FMLS and Matrix, or in a lot of our CRMs have it built up where you can automatically set up automatic searches.
True, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
You need to be doing automatic and without,
Well, that's what I'm talking about, setting up automatic searches for your clients. Every one of them needs to have some kind of an automatic search set up for every single one right now. It's a really sound investment for us. So, video. Video is another thing that we got to be looking at right now, because everybody's going to be going online again right now. Video is one of those things that, look at how strong this is. The majority of our agents today are going to be watching on Workplace, and so we're seeing that video is one of those where it helps to show that we really are authentic, that we can be bold, we can share information. Now's the time to do it. In most of our offices, we've got video areas set up already. Come in whenever you like to and set up and start doing video. People buy and sell real estate with people they trust. And we know that video helps convey trust. It helps let people see what your real heart is, show what matters to you. That comes across in video like no other platform really other than face-to-face does, kind of thing. So this allows you to get your message out much more effectively, kind of thing. So, the different types of video that I want you to be looking at for your top of funnel awareness stage kind of thing, agent, office promos, business reviews, information, educational videos, how-to videos, that kind of stuff. In the consideration stage, of course, we don't have our listing videos, which are going to be more difficult to do right now. Guided tours, again, another tough one, but an agent profile video is not that bad. Interviews, testimonials, and video email. For our bottom funnel, frequently asked questions videos, talking heads on that. Any kind of live stream that we can do, whether it's open house, neighborhood tours, that kind of stuff, you can still go and just by yourself tour a new construction home, that kind of stuff. Personalized videos and thank you videos. Everyone likes being thanked. So there's a lot of things we can do with video. We just have to be proactive. Again, this is not about rolling over. It's not about letting our business just fade away. This is about us taking control of our business. Even though times are different, we've got to own this. We can be texting a lot more than we do. I'm talking about texting as a marketing tool. 85% of text messages are responded to. Okay, so that's a great number, but that number does not include bulk group BS waste of time text kind of thing. What these are specific messages to specific clients. Those messages get really good response. People like to be responded to that way. No one likes getting, and I don't mean group texting, bulk texting. If you group text me, I will be very upset with you, which is a nice way to put it. But a lot of people want to throat punch you. That's not what this is. This is specific questions, questions about their availability, their thoughts, their concerns. Are they receiving emails? Following up on things that they've looked at, sending out thank you messages. In here next is all these is a list of text messaging suggestions. You're going to be able to download these, and I encourage you to do these because you're going to be sitting around the house as well. A lot of us have kids that are going to be out of school for the next 2 or 3 weeks, kind of thing. You've got time, but if you got kids, sometimes it's tough to make a phone call with kids around. Text messages, I can do text messages with kids going nuts everywhere, kind of thing. And I can still send text messages. Download these, see if these can be helpful. We've been using these with very good success. So, look at taking them, changing them, and be able to text those out. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to be putting this on Workplace. Okay. So you'll be able to download this entire PowerPoint presentation right from Workplace. So, Another we got to look at, what is your online presence? You need to go out and you need to Google yourself. First name, last name, real estate, because that's how your client's going to look you up. Now, when you do that, hopefully Georgia MLS, Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, Facebook, these are all going to be what should show up. If they don't, that means your profile on those locations stink. And if you have a good profile, that's what will show up first. And it's always, and that's true. And that's how you control the content that your clients see. That's how you control the narrative kind of thing. So you got to go out and you got to Google yourself. You know your clients are going to do that. You got to ask yourself, does that photo look like me? Not 20 years and 20 pounds ago me, but me now kind of thing. Does your message, intro, slogan, does that truly represent who you are and the type of real estate you're trying to do? You know, is your message consistent across all the different platforms? Do you appear trustworthy? Do you have a business email address? Not bootymama6969@hotmail.com, which is one of the things we got in our contract. Thank goodness it was not a maximum one agent, but there is an agent whose business email is bootymama6969. Gmail's free. Still get an email address. So, and then you have testimonials. We all need to have testimonials, especially right now. People are going to be doing a lot more searching. First-time buyers search twice as much or do twice as much background searching, information searching on an agent than do second and multiple and second-time buyers, that kind of thing. So testimonials go a long, long way. Do we have testimonials? Are they up to date? How are we managing those? It's important that we do that. Now, it's also the other thing is we're going to have plenty of time for Facebook. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to spend 8 hours looking at dogs with funny hats on. That's not going to do anything to grow our business kind of thing. And so what this is a list of 100 Facebook ideas. And so if you just did one of these a day, you've got 3.5 months worth of content you could send out there kind of thing. And so the first one is all on attracting buyers. All these are the different things that you can do. Share a mortgage app, whole 9 yards. But so, I've got 15 things right here. Sharing your market reports all the way through. All these are different things that you should be posting to your Facebook account. Should it be business or should it be personal? That's a you call. And it's a both. If it's strictly business, you need to have business posts, but you also need to be doing personal posts as well. With business posts, that's how you're going to come across as business. But with personal posts, that's where you get way more engagement kind of thing. So some of these are going to be much more appropriate for business. Anything that has a property address has to come from your business page. It has to have we should have your maximum one information on that business page kind of thing. So next, I got another 15 about attracting sellers, because we want to, list to live, baby. We got to make sure that we're attracting sellers as well, kind of thing. So, your home selling strategy, sharing your Aruba of the day, the whole 9 yards. There's 15 of those. After that, things about you, positive features, show off unique branding, show off different things. So none of these really have any property-specific information. This could go on your business or your personal page. Then we got stuff about promoting your local area. So best of businesses, local fundraisers, charity events, that kind of stuff. These are all great things that you can do. Again, this can work from business or personal. Video. Did I mention video? Because if so, this is where you got to do it as well. One thing I love about doing like Facebook Live is when you do Facebook Live, especially, you get everyone that's online right then immediately gets a notification. Hey, Sheila's going live on Facebook right now. Tune in, click here, kind of thing. And so everyone that's online immediately gets that. And if anybody comes in, immediately it shows that you're going live. Then it goes into your news feed, and because it's video, it's going to be shared out to a lot more people than a static post would be. So all these are different videos that you can be doing on there. Humor, we like being funny, and it is good to be really fun, kind of thing. And so there's a lot of different things that we can do to be funny, from lighter side of real estate or from hiring a cartoonist to make us custom cartoons and that kind of stuff. These go really, really well. Seasonal and holiday posts is another one that can be good for personal or business. And then asking questions. This is really some of my absolute favorite ones, is to ask questions. Because when you ask questions, and I do encourage you to do the ask question point on your personal page, because that's where you're going to build the most engagement kind of thing. What's your favorite restaurant? Best Mexican restaurant, those kind of things are really great things to build engagement inside your real estate community kind of thing. And then we finish up with real estate and home tips kind of thing. So just 103 ideas that you can be incorporating into your Facebook pages. And right now, when people have this much time on their hands suddenly, I mean, we know that they're going to be heavily into social media right now. And so, yes, these are going to work really good for Facebook. They're also going to work great for Instagram as well as for LinkedIn kind of thing. You know, look through that kind of stuff. It can be utilized across all the different platforms, whichever social media platforms that you're utilizing. Please look at doing that right now. I mean, we know that our clients are not just going to sit at home with their thumb up their tuchus, okay? They're going to be engaging. They're going to be online. We need to be where they are. We need to settle their nerves. We need to calm them down. And we need to provide a lot of great services, and this is a great chance for us to build some relationships with folks. So, a couple of things we need to look at. We need to be prospecting consistently every day, at least an hour a day. If you're new, 4 hours a day. But it all starts with having a place where you're going to work. So many of us work directly from our home office, but our home office a lot of times has like stacks of laundry, the computer hadn't been turned on for 3 weeks, and there's a, you know, well, there's an exercise bicycle nobody's used for a year on there kind of thing. So we got to make a place that when I go here, I'm going here to work. And we got to have a place at our office, at our home office, where we go and do work. It can't be the kitchen table. It can't be the couch, because that's not where we go to do those kind of things. You need to have a place where I step in this spot, I'm going to work. And we need to make sure that we prospect. We still need to have a schedule. Even with all the craziness going on, you have to make that schedule. If you don't get out of bed until noon, you are hurting your business. You're the CEO of your business. You're also the only employee for most of us. So you got to make sure that you're getting up and getting going. Continue to learn, train, take classes. All of our classes that we've ever taught are still on the training section on Workplace. You can view all those kind of things. There's so many online places to go and get free education. Continue to learn right now. You know, reach out for support. We're going to be upping the amount of support that we have. A lot of it's going to be very much virtual the same way, because we want to keep you and us safe. But we still are operating a business kind of thing. Review your business plan. Plan your day the afternoon before. That's how you help get yourself set up. It's also how you help sleep. Because if I know that I've already planned out my day for the next day, I sleep really, really good. If I go to bed and I'm still anxious and I don't know what's going on the next day, I never sleep as good. Learn your market. Really need to be in the MLS right now. You need to be looking and searching, going through the hot sheets every single day. Stay focused on your goals. Be constant with your affirmations, especially right now. Because right now you can tell yourself things stink. You can tell yourself this is horrible. This is going to kill our business. This is going to be awful. Whole thing's going to crash. And it's kind of like, it's what your reality is, and it's what you choose to do. So like I've got my son. I love my son. But he wakes up and he's a grump. And I say, son, you know what? This is going to be a terrible day as long as you've decided it is. And it's really, really true. It's the same thing for us. If you get up today and you say, you know what? This is going to be terrible, I can promise you, you're 100% right. And if you also get up and say, you know what? This is going to be a great opportunity for me really to grow market share. This is going to be a great chance for me to engage. It will be. This is going to be what you turn out. How you take this is really going to affect what this does to your business kind of thing. Work on your scripts. Have a lot of sources of business. Right now, there's plenty of time for you to be able to go out and start looking and planning and looking at different lead systems for your business. Stay accountable to your goals. Every day you start off at 0. So if you did if you did phone calls for 6 hours yesterday, well, guess what? You still starting off today at 0. You just got to start all over again, kind of thing. Preview your property, price your listings to sell. Always generate new business before you take care of old business. Now, we are going to be adding some weekly sales meetings. We're going to be upping our online presence here on Workplace. Myself, Maine, Keisha, we're going to start holding a weekly sales meeting. And it's going to be here on Workplace kind of thing. And unlike this, where it's going to be much more me up here, we want to make this much more interactive. And so we're going to be able to let people where we can engage every single week. And so I encourage you to start joining us on that. It's going to be every Monday at 10 a.m. kind of thing. And so we're going to be there, and we're going to try and engage, and we want to make it so that we're available, but that you don't feel like you have to come into a big classroom, that kind of stuff. So we're trying to take our presence online much more seriously and make sure that we're being here and available for you as well, kind of thing. You're welcome to come in on those. I don't mind. But I just want to make sure everyone's aware of that kind of stuff. Also, the branch managers are going to be reaching out and holding weekly meetings in the workplace as well. So we're going to be trying to build our engagement online to make sure that you have the support you need. We want you to be really successful, but I don't want you to let this hurt your business. Because if you let what's going on right now hurt your business, it's on you. And I hate to be kind of that blunt about it, but it really is that true. If you choose to be like, you know, this is going to be the worst thing ever happen to real estate, I can promise you for your business it will. But for those of us that choose not to go down that road, this is also going to be a really good opportunity for a lot of us to step out and to rise above, to build some relationships with people, and to be also be the voice of reason. Because a lot of things may look a little crazy right now. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, this is just going to be a hiccup. And so that's where we need to be kind of thing.
So when are those weekly meetings are going to start?
Next Monday.
Next Monday?
Okay. Yep, next Monday kind of thing. So, you know, we have a lot of great things going on right now, but there's a lot of stuff happening that we can that we can still build on. And that's what I want. If nothing else, please take it that this is not the end of the world. Okay, yes, we have some challenging times, but it's times like that when the cream rises to the top. And this is the time for us to do that. So, pretty much what I have. So I love you. I appreciate you all so very much. Please don't be discouraged. Please stay, you know, spend some time in prayer and understand that no matter what, God still is in control. So thank y'all very much. Absolutely. Really, really appreciate you. So,
All right, let's go to work.
let's go to work.
Before we stop, really quick, I'm so sorry. We stop?
Hold on. Well, I was just about to.
Okay, I'm sure they won't see backslash twice there,
Well,
right?
I'm pretty sure they don't, but they don't really have a choice right now. So.
I just want to give an award to Nella. You were the top salesperson for the last month. And yay! And ready for the top units, meaning you have a lot of units, not necessarily the sale dollars. But thank you both for being our top producer last month, and we're looking forward to do it next month again. Thanks.
do it.
All right,
Thank y'all.
thank you everyone to come. Was that helpful for y'all?